Breaking some key resistances on the chart. Let's go over what's happening today in price action, what can happen in the near future here. First, let me welcome everybody in. Kajus, welcome in. Nonsense, hi man, thank you for coming. Kara, welcome in. Caleb, welcome in. Jofuel, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Moran, welcome in. And Samuel S, welcome in. Mid, welcome in. Thank you guys. Music is too loud. Okay, thank you. I'm still working on getting this down, so let me see here. This, all right, give me just a second, guys. Is that better? Let's see here. Music better now, guys? Is music down? Okay, there we go. Still loud? Alright, is it better now? Let's see here. What's up, Navir? How you doing, man? ZMX, thank you for joining in. Alright, I'm going to give it just a second because there's a lag here, but let's see if the music is lower now. Okay, it should be lower. Good now. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Welcome in, everybody. So Bitcoin's getting some pumpage. We are seeing us break our point of control of the range. Now, if you guys were watching any of my videos in the last couple days here, we were a bit concerned because we were starting to break our range that we've been in for the last 6 weeks here. Starting to break this range to the downside. And once we started to break that range to the downside, we even came up for the bearish back test of the range a couple of different times, rejected, and we're continuing to dump down. Now, we were at major support levels, and with the major support level being the key pitchfork band here of our pitchfork that we have been in really for months now. And when we were hitting into the pitchfork band here, I did say that there is a possibility that this holds and we at least continue to range in this area for a bit, or we could see that relief rally. But if we lose this pitchfork band of support, then 72 to 70K is almost guaranteed. Now, you can see we did hold that pitchfork band of support, and what's really, really important is that we were able to reclaim our value area low. Reclaimed our value area low, and now we are pumping and even breaking our point of control. Okay, so good now, good now. All right, thank you guys, thank you. You could bump it by 3. Oh, bump the music up just a little bit. Let's see here. Is that okay there now? Oh, now we can barely hear the music. Okay, all right. Here we go. That should be in the middle of what it was. And just let me know if that's too loud. Yeah, bear divs on the 24-minute. We're developing some bear divs on many time frames, Ludong. And I'm going to go into that here. And we are at a pretty key resistance here. But we are seeing some strong breakouts here. And Bitcoin could continue. Okay, music's perfect now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the help there. Okay, so what I want to talk about here is, let me go ahead and zoom out onto the 4-hour chart. And we have been in a pretty strong downtrend on Bitcoin for quite a while here. this very strong downtrend from the all-time high, making consistent lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Now we are starting to, and we were up in what this range here I call the all-time high range. We were up in this all-time high range here, but we identified a key shift in the market being this impulse down. I call this the Bybit hack impulse. Now this impulse down confirmed that the market wanted to declare the fair value of Bitcoin at lower prices. So we were trading in this upper range here. You can see that upper range. We're going to talk about this value area low in just a second, right around 93K. And once we broke that to the downside with increased volume, we even came back up a couple times, back tested that range. Let me go ahead and hide this real quick. We back tested that range a couple times and rejected to the dollar a couple times, forming new lows on the charts. So what that was telling us is the market was trying to price in Bitcoin at lower prices. Now we have been in this range for about 6 weeks or so. And last weekend, we did see some concern with the uncertainty in markets. Now, one thing we have to realize is that the thing the markets hate the most is uncertainty. So if you have uncertainty in markets, markets will react volatilely off of uncertainty. Now, with the trade wars going on and tariffs and all these different things, we were seeing that uncertainty cause a bit of a push down in Bitcoin, breaking the value area low of that range. Let's go ahead and turn that range back on. Okay, I'm going to talk about this range as well, but not this range. The intermediate range from the Bybit hack impulse, from the end of the impulse of that hack. Now, with that range, we lost the value area low. We have finally been able to reclaim the value area low. And now I want to go into this smaller range here, because this smaller range is our lows from 76.6. So after we had this impulse down, showing the market wanted to clearly price in Bitcoin at lower fair value, we've been kind of going sideways in a bunch of complex moves, complex corrective moves. You can see the Trump tweet about the reserve was a three-wave move to the upside. Now, yes, it was a very volatile and powerful three-wave move to the upside, but a clear three-wave move to the upside, followed by a bigger ABC to the downside. We had targeted that ABC 76.6 lows, caught that perfectly, and then we saw that ascending channel on the daily that took us a few weeks, coming up to the highs of the range, rejected from the highs of the range, and then started our big downtrend to the downside, continuing. Made new lows once again. But we are at key support here on Bitcoin, being the pitchfork band of support. Now you can see this pitchfork band has been really, really respected. When we were up here, kept rejecting us from the top of the pitchfork near the all-time highs. Then we were chopping around the midline. Now I know there's some deviation below this midline, but if you zoom out to the daily, we were holding this midline really well until we finally lost it. Then you can see when we lost that midline, back tested bearishly a few times, could not get back above, and dumped to make new lows. We dumped to our next major pitchfork level of support. Now these pitchforks are very, very good to determine bigger support and resistance trends in a trending market. Bigger support and resistances in a trending market, I should say. So now you can see Bitcoin is seeing a very strong reaction from the bottom of the pitchfork band. What can we expect next? Well, Bitcoin is now back within our volume profile. Let's go back to the Coinbase chart. So this volume profile from 76.6, I really want to talk about this because you can see, let me go ahead and get rid of this little guy here. You can see that we did break below it. We had that pump back up, and on the fear of tariffs the next day, we dumped to bullishly backtest that value area low after entering within that value, back within the value area. The market is trying to reestablish the fair value of Bitcoin within this range. And we rejected from our point of control a little bit yesterday, saw a small pullback. We took a little scalp short on that on stream yesterday. If any of you were in the VIP Jason Discord stream. And I did say yesterday that I was going to be playing this as a scalp and that we would look for our next level of resistance being the value area high of this range in confluence with our 786s. And that 786 fib pull is just from our 88.8 highs down to our lows. You take that Fibonacci retracement pull and you have your 786s here along with the anchored VWAP. Now this anchored VWAP here is from the Bybit hack impulse highs. up here. Key anchor VWAP from this high here. Now, this was the last high we made before breaking this upper range to the downside with volume. So that is going to be an important pivot in the market, and that's why we're putting an anchored VWAP from that pivot point. Okay, so now Bitcoin reestablished price action within the range. We bullishly backtested the value area lower of the range. We came up to the point of control, saw a small rejection, but once again, if we zoom in here, you can see that the value area low of the range, let's just go on the 30-minute chart here. You can see that the value area low of the range did hold, or not the value area low, the VWAP did hold on that backtest overall. Yes, we saw a little bit of a dip past it. We're able to reclaim the VWAP, and we're just trending with the VWAP. So look at this VWAP, guys. The VWAP is a really good day trading tool because when you're in a trending move, oftentimes when you come down to the VWAP, you will see a bounce and a continuation of trend from the VWAP. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. Music's perfect now. Okay, bear divs. I'm going to talk about those bear divs here because we are at resistance and we are seeing multiple time frames of bear divs on the chart. And I do think we are due for a bit of a pullback here. And I'm not saying a big pullback, I'm saying a smaller pullback. But here's the thing, now that we are above this point of control of this range, we are hitting into the value area high in 786 area of this range. And I do think we could pump just a little bit higher to actually hit the value area high right around 86K. Now you also know we have an old weekly level there at 86K. But this 86K area, even though the weekly has been tapped, it's still a key area. Now, what we can expect here as far as just trading ranges, because Bitcoin loves to range, and if ranges are really important to learn how to trade, especially with Bitcoin. Now that we have bounced from the value area low, what do you expect? You expect a move up to the point of control. If the point of control rejects, you can expect a higher low to come in on the charts and another push and another try to break that point of control. Well, we did that today, yesterday, last night, whatever you want to say. Wherever you're at in the world, and now we are coming up to the value area high of our smaller range. This range since the 76.6 lows, after our big three-wave zigzag correction, our double zigzag here, three waves, now we are sideways. Okay, so now I am actually looking, because we are seeing some we are seeing some bear divs on the chart, along with our 4-hour momentum wave on Market Cipher B is starting to peak out here. Money flow does look strong though. You can see money flow is consistently curving to the upside, showing that the overall bigger trend, we need to expect continuation to the upside. Also, if we do go in on the daily chart, now in my last week's videos, I was talking about this very, very strongly here, about the bull divs that we're confirming on the daily chart that could give us a bigger relief rally up to 90K or 93K. But let's go ahead and look at this. So let me hide this for a second. You can see here on the charts coming into our key pitchfork band of support. First of all, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Confirmed bear div here on the charts. But when we had that, I talked about, you can barely hear with the music. Shoot, is the music okay, guys? Okay, there we go. I turned it down just a little bit. Excuse me. I'll turn up my mic just a little bit too. Okay, is you guys all good? Sound all good? Everything okay here? I'll wait for the chat. I know there's just a little bit of a delay here. And welcome in everybody. Welcome in Roy. It's good to see you. Welcome in Andrew, Samuel. Thank you guys for joining. Let's see. I'm going to check on my phone real quick. All right. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Roy. It's good to see you. Welcome in, Andrew. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I just turned it down just a little bit more, just because. But okay. So here we can go back to the charts. Music the same. Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. Thank you, Expo21. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I'll turn it down just a little bit more, guys. I don't want the music too loud. Okay. There we go. Much better. I hope so. So I'm going to go ahead and continue here on the charts. We are looking at this drive of bull div that was confirmed on the charts, but as that bull dip was confirming, first of all, we weren't really hitting into our key support yet. We were still a bit above our key support level. And the money flow was still coming out pretty aggressive on the charts. So what I said last week in a few of my videos and in a few of the Discord streams that I do, I was looking for one more low to be made with another drive of bull div forming on the charts, which would then give us our local drive of bull div on the daily and then our more regional bull div on the daily, confirming a double drive of bull div on the daily charts. And I said by then I want to see money flow bottomed out and starting to curve to the upside, starting to come back in. Now we have seen exactly that, you guys. This signal on Market Cipher B, high time frame signal, daily double drives of bull div, on the charts with money flow coming back up, is the exact actually hitting into support, actually hitting into our support level, is the exact thing I was waiting for to see a bigger relief rally to the upside. Now, I know in the past few videos I've been saying we have to remain a little bit more bearish or cautious until we break back above our value area low. But we did break back above our value area low. So now that we have broken back up above our value area low, we can expect a bigger relief rally, at least to the top of the range, if not higher. And so let's go ahead and look at this here. Let me grab our ranges. Is that the guy? No. Oh, let me go on to my Coinbase chart here. And I'm just going to get rid of this range now. Let me turn a couple things on the chart here. I want to turn on... Not that. I'll show you guys that channel in just a second, but I'm going to turn on this channel first too. This is our daily downtrending channel, and you can see this is another reason why I'm looking for a possible pullback from this area. We are hitting into our 786s, our value area high of our range at the top of the channel. And now, the last few times we have hit into this channel, rejection, 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 and this actually needs to be put... adjusted right. There we go. So we are pretty much at a point where we can expect a rejection. We have seen a very, very strong uptrend with no real pullbacks from the double lows that we made. So this here is unsustainable. It is just unsustainable. There is going to be a pullback. Now, in this pullback, I expect a higher low to be made where we then can tackle breaking out of our downtrend channel. But I do expect a pullback to be made here soon. And let's see here. Let me go ahead and look. Let's pull up that range now. We'll pull up the intermediate range here. So this is the range after the Bybit hack impulse completed. You can see that we are back within this range, breaking the point of control of this range. So what can we expect next? First of all, we'll play the smaller range. So this is the intermediate range. We do have the smaller range. We can look at this smaller range for now. We're at the value area high. We're at the top of the channel. We're at the 786s, and we're pretty much at that anchored VWAP area after reclaiming the value area low and breaking above the point of control. So yes, now I would look at seeing a small pullback. Now this pullback could only be to the point of control around 84,200, 84,300, and then we might break out. But we are at resistance, and on the charts, if we go zoom in onto the 2-hour chart, 2-hour chart, we have invalidated our bear divs that were forming. Money flow looks pretty strong here on the 2-hour. And yesterday in the stream, I was talking about how we were just crossing over into the green. And because our money flow looked so beautiful on the 2-hour, we were probably going to see more continuation to the upside. I still do think more continuation is possible after a pullback. I do think we are due for a pullback. Now, if we go on to the 1-hour chart, 1 hour, no real bear divs. We do have bear divs between this high here and the high. You can see from this high, higher highs on the price action and lower highs on the momentum waves. Money flow is looking a little bit toppy here, like it wants to top out and start to dip back down just a little bit. So we are seeing some confirmations to start to look for a short in this area. Let's go ahead and go to our 30-minute chart. 30-minute, we are seeing some bold bear divs here. Locally, higher highs price action, lower highs. Money flow is now starting to curve to the downside. If we look at our 15-minute chart, 15 minutes, yes, we do also have some bear divs here. Higher highs in price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Money flow has now been coming to the downside. So I do think this is a good area where we could see a pullback from. We are at the resistance area. Okay, let's see here. And then as far as lower time frames, I 5 minute here, 5 minute, we do have the bear divs a little bit here. You can see higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Money flow, not the worst looking, but kind of starting to come out here. So yeah, we are at resistance, and I do think the pullback is here or approaching very soon. We might pump just a little bit higher to hit this value area high at 86,000, 86,051 on Coinbase. But now that we are above this point of control, so this point of control is going to be a very, very important level on the market now, because what we need to watch for is a rejection from this area, a small pullback to bullishly backtest what used to be resistance, now flipping to support. And if that holds and flips to support, we might see a strong continuation to the upside with a breakout of this area here and see that really big push to the upside that we've been waiting for. Okay, let me go ahead. I know I turned off a lot of my levels, so let me turn on some of these levels here. I'm just going to turn everything on real quick, and then we will focus on what's local here. All right. Now, I did mark out this weekly level at 78,370. Yes, I know the week hasn't closed till tomorrow evening, but you know what? We're not going to dump back there before tomorrow evening. Or I should say it's a very unlikely possibility that we're going to dump back down. Now, as a trader, we have to both consider the bullish and the bearish scenario. So, I am leaning more bullish for a breakout and continuation to the upside. But as a trader, we are at resistance at the top of the channel that has rejected us many a time. And if we do see another strong rejection, look at this very steep liquidity curve here, that if we start to break this point of control and the daily, the new daily, if we start to break this general local support area, we could see a bigger flush down to the value area low of the range again, our daily and our weekly, just this general area of support here. And then if that doesn't hold, we do need to watch for the channel midline. Now, this is that big descending channel that we've been trading in. So we have a naked weekly point of control down there. We have a daily, and we have our channel midline between 77 and 76.2. But I'm not even thinking about that yet. I'm not even close to thinking about that. So let me go ahead and clean this up. I'm just going to leave that big higher 786 on the charts. Let's grab that one. Okay. All right, so what can we look at as far as this range goes? This range is the smaller range. We are at the value area high where we could expect to see a pullback, but let's go ahead and zoom out to that intermediate range, because that intermediate range is really the key range that we want to follow. This range first and foremost. Now, you guys can see here on this range, let me zoom out on the charts a bit so it's a little more clear. And let me go ahead and turn off some of these smaller levels here that will clean up the chart. Lower levels, excuse me, so I can clean up the chart a bit here. All right, I'll turn this one off as well. And let's go ahead and leave it at that. Okay, let me see how the chat's doing. How are you guys all doing? Thank you for all coming in. R Pink, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Okay, wasn't it a W pattern outbreak and even retested? Yeah, you could call that a double bottom, like a W pattern, but honestly, ZMX, in a double bottom, it is much more of a good signal if you actually come down and take that liquidity and see an SFP at the double bottom. Now, a double bottom still can be a strong reversal pattern, which obviously it's been acting so far that way, but it's a lot better to see the liquidity grab. That way the market makers stop out all the people and then they make the move up. So market makers don't like to leave that liquidity laying down there. Okay. Music's perfect now. Awesome, awesome. I know this music's... Yeah. Kaijuice, is it still too high? Is the music still too high, everybody? Is it good? Music a tad bit loud still. Okay. There we go. A little bit lower. Okay, there we go. Music the same. Music pretty loud. Oh, it's still pretty loud? Okay. There we go. Still loud. Okay. Mic is clipping a little. Okay. There we go. How to interpret open interest and CVD right now. We'll look at that in just a second here. CME gap. Yes, we're definitely going to have a CME gap here. What time frame do you look at for a break of structure? So our pink, it depends on what kind of trade I'm doing. If I'm looking at a scalp trade, I'll look at like a 1 minute, 5 minute break of structure. But if I'm looking for a bigger day trade, I'm really looking for like a 12 to 15 minute break of structure. But honestly, it just depends on the situation. Okay, perfect music. Okay, they're trolling you. Okay, good, good. I hear no music at all. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, wait, there should be some music. Let me see here. Yeah, there should be some music here. Okay. Okay, and let's see here. Music's good. Okay. What is your call on the macro cycle divine? Okay, so macro cycle, I do think Bitcoin does have more room to the upside, but I think we're closer to the end than to the beginning. Or still believe there's just temporary. I really do think we're in for a bigger correction after. Actually, I think the correction could have already started, and I'll go into that for just a second here. I know that this is going to be a review to many of you that watch me on Discord and watch my videos daily, but I do want to talk about this because this is pretty important. Let me go ahead and turn off this pitchfork. Let's turn on this 5-wave Elliot impulse, and let's turn this on. Okay, so, and actually I'm going to zoom out to the weekly chart. Now, since the beginning of the bull market, you can see here on the chart, we have a very, very clear and established 5-wave Elliott impulse. Now, if you guys know anything about Elliott wave theory, there's two types of price action. There's impulsive price action, and it can be either impulsive to the upside or to the downside. And then there's corrective price action, 3-wave moves and 5-wave moves, a series of 3-wave moves or 5-wave moves. After every single impulse, you will see some sort of correction. Now, sometimes that correction is a complete flat range that forms. You kind of like see the big pump up into it, a flat range forms, and then you pump out of it. But that is a corrective move. It's just called a flat correction. Sometimes the correction is super sharp. Sometimes it is simple, like a simple ABC like this. Sometimes it's complex. So the thing is, after every single impulse finishes, you see a correction. Now, this chart here on the weekly, you can see one of the clearest 5-wave impulses that Bitcoin has ever created. Very, very clear. Once we started hitting up into the top of our weekly cycle channel, now this channel is from the weekly chart from the last bull market highs down to our bear market low, and you can see how very well this channel has been respected. Now, when we were getting up to the top of this channel, if you go watch my videos way back in November, I was talking about a possible distribution pattern at the top of this channel where we then could see a bigger correction to the downside. Now, anytime you see a correction, you want to see a like a series of 3-wave moves. Now, because this is on the weekly chart, that could take 6 months. This correction that we see could take 6 months. We're already, 2 or 3 months into the correction to the downtrend. We were seeing bear divs on the chart, money flow coming out consistently on the weekly, on the monthly, on the daily. We were seeing all the warning signs, and I was warning people about this for weeks in my video when we were up here around 108K. Now, yes, we're due for a relief rally, and in this correction, this was the extreme scenario, so don't pay attention to that ABC. I was actually looking for something closer to an A, B, and then a C, where we come down to the point of control of this prior 2024 reaccumulation range. So now we've been dumping for a couple months now, creating our A wave down. We can expect a B wave to the upside, which inside the B wave, you see, so you have your ABC correction, you have your A, B, C correction. Inside your B wave, you're going to see 2 impulses. It's called the 535 within the B wave, a sub count. It's a smaller sub count. So we're expecting some impulsive price action to the upside. Obviously, we're getting some right now. Impulsive correction, and then we look for the B wave to top out around the golden pocket to 786 area. So right now, if we take a fib from the all-time high to our lows that we created, we turn on that golden pocket to 786 area. We can look at this correction, this relief rally to possibly top out around 96, 97K up to 102K. Now, those levels are very important because 97K is around the point of control of this upper range. Let's go ahead and zoom in onto the daily. 97K is around the point of control of our all-time high range. If we go ahead and grab our volume profile, we throw it on here, you can see that the point of control of this range is in the golden pocket. Okay, so that is going to be a very tough nut to crack, and we can expect maybe the B wave to end there before seeing one more leg down, because we also got to remember this double bottom is very, very unusual for a macro low. So I do expect a relief rally in the next week to 2 weeks, but then after that, I do expect us to come down one more time. And also, you have to remember, we front ran our macro support. So if we look at that support from the lows of wave 4 to the highs of wave 5, and we look at that golden pocket, I mean, that golden pocket is such a strong level between 72 and 70K. You can see that we had front run it. Now, oftentimes the market makers do not front run key macro supports like this. If we take our volume profile and measure the volume of our prior range of 2024, the value area high is in that area. So oftentimes when you have a trending move, then you start to range and you break out of that range. In a healthy market, you will range for a bit, break out, and then oftentimes you come back to back test that range now as support. What used to be resistance is now flipping to support, and then you will continue higher. We have not done a back test of our 2024 resistance range. So I am expecting a 3-wave move down to that area where then we could see a bigger push to the upside to make new all-time highs and maybe even go much, much higher. But this will take time to happen. This will take time to play out. So, but let me get back to my Coinbase chart here, and we'll talk about what is happening right now with this intermediate range. So this intermediate range that we're seeing is a very important range. Let's go to the 2-hour chart, because you can see here, we've been playing in this range for 6 weeks or so. You know, we had the deviation of the range here, reclaimed the range, pumped to the point of control, rejected the point of control, bullishly backtested the value area low, and the market established that, yes, we want to trade back with inside the range. We want to establish our fair value within this range. Came up to the point of control, saw some choppiness, made a higher low, and then finally broke the point of control of that range over the weekend, backtested the range now as support, and made our way up to the value area high of the range, which, by the way, this was in that ascending channel where I had, when we were all the way down here in this area, I said this correction is probably going to go between 88 to 88.6. If you guys go watch my videos from whenever this was, let's see, if you go watch my videos from like March 12th through like the 16th, 17th, all my videos, I talked about that box of resistance between 88,000 and 88,600 being the level where this entire ascending channel correction could end. We had actually marked that out the second we bounced from this low. And we did end up there. It was a lot of confluence up there. We had weeklies, naked weekly points of control, golden pocket, value area high. So we rejected from the value area high, showing that the market still wanted to trade the fair value of Bitcoin within this range. We're establishing a new fair value after losing our upper range fair value. Okay, now reject from the value area high, broke point of control, and it came down. Now we came up again on this short squeeze. You got to remember, this was a big short squeeze that happened. It was the Trump tariff announcement the day he actually went live. We hit the value area high in the top of the channel again, and then we saw that big dump to the downside. Now, dumped, lost the point of control, back tested, couldn't get back above. That was last weekend. We were forming this little triangle in here. The market was trying to decide what it wanted to do. You know, this little thing here. And then we broke it down with volume, breaking the value area low. Back tested value area low, rejected, came down for another double bottom. Usually you make a lower low. We didn't in this case because the pitchfork support was there. But now that we are breaking back within the range, we rejected once from the point of control yesterday. We're breaking the point of control today. Now we can expect overall another try to the value area high of the range. Well, the value area high of this range has lots and lots of liquidity above it. We have 1, 2, 3 semi-equal highs all up there. And if we go on to our liquidation heat map, check out that liquidity that is right above those highs. See these triple highs, guys? That liquidity is such a strong magnet right now for the market makers to come up and take it at that liquidity out, to stop all the people that have went short since the tariff announcements. So this here is going to really be a juicy level to look for. We can continually, maybe we reject now, see a small rejection now just to back test the point of control and the daily level. Hold that as support, break up to this area, take out our triple highs, take all that liquidity, and then see a bigger move down to make another higher low, right? You know, you'd be looking for a 3-wave zigzag down to back test the value area low again, and then push up to 91, 93K, 97K. But remember, 97K, this area up in here is going to be the most important area of resistance, between 96 and 98K, I would say. So that is what I'm really watching for over the next days. But we tackle level to level. Right now, we're at our level of resistance locally. We have to watch to see if we are going to get this rejection from here. The first level I would be looking for is that 84.2 to like 83.8. This level here where we could look for the bounce. Now that we're breaking that point of control, a bounce and a flip to support, and then a continuation to the value area high. But as long as we're below this descending channel, remember guys, this descending channel has been knocking us down time and time again. Every time we get up there, look at this pump too, by the way. This pump, very pushy, like very strong pushy, just like this. So anytime you see that, yes, it's a strong trend to the upside, but it's creating a very steep liquidity curve. Like this liquidity curve here is so steep that if we start to break this trend here, then you could see a quick flush down to flush all that liquidity, because it's like a liquidation cascade that occurs. So right now, we're doing okay here. We're seeing a small rejection. We expect a small rejection, at least to backtest the point of control, to flip it to support. But if we start to lose the point of control, we could see a quick flush at least down to the value area low, around 80.5. But right now, looking pretty good. And we'll just kind of watch. This descending channel is going to be, once again, just an important resistance. If we reject from here again, another rejection from the highs, you know, rejection, all this, then we'll probably just continue the trend down, and I would even maybe expect to move down to that midline that I was showing you. We do have some naked weekly points of controls and some weekly levels down there, right down in this area. I guess it depends on how fast you got down there, because that's quite a ways up above it. But yes, so that is what I'm looking at. Let me turn off some of these higher levels up here. Okay, let me check the chat and see how you guys are doing. I just want to keep the charts clean for you guys so you can see what is going on here. Let's see. What time frame do you look at break of structure? Yeah, so our pink, I look at, you know, that 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute for scalps, and then for bigger trades, 12, 15 really. But honestly, the higher time frame break, the better. But when you break, you want to wait for that next higher low to come in on the charts to look for support being hit and a long opportunity. Super came down to 49 cents and made it support and went up to 60 cents, which was the value area high from the 886. So more upside likely, but that doesn't come. So I'll check Super out in just a bit, Jaffiel. We'll go through it again. Yep, okay, good evening. Good evening, Mana2. Thank you for coming in. Joe, good to see you. Okay, I just answered that. Smash the likes. Yeah, thank you, Roy. Yeah, if you guys would, if you get anything out of this video, would you please smash the likes? Because it will just help me grow, and I am trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get out there more. So I just appreciate it if you do that. Of course, if you don't like the TA, you can also hit the dislike button as well, and that'll just give me feedback on, you know, what to change. So I appreciate either way. Okay, cool. Music's good. Okay, good. No clipping. Is it no clipping? Is it still clipping right now? I turned my mic down a little bit, so it should be okay. Okay. Yeah, it's screaming pullback, Slick Shoes. You're right. It is screaming pullback. Now, the pullback, I'm expecting a higher low, though, and continuation to the upside. Just this is very unsustainable. Locally, this kind of price action here is very unsustainable. So yeah, we are expecting a little bit of a pullback here. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's going into Sunday, which is typically bearish. Yep, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading older. Okay, music is totally out. Music is totally out now. What the heck? Jeez. There. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm just behind, guys, so let me just catch up on the chat just a bit. Okay. We can play our own music. All right, thanks, CMX. The music's fine, don't worry. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm new to streaming, so on YouTube, so I'm still trying to figure out like all this stuff. Okay, it's not enough time left in the cycle. Yeah, honestly, Kara, I think we're running out of time in the cycle as well. But at the same time, the 4-year cycle might be breaking now that the institutions have got in. Like, institutional money coming into Bitcoin via the ETFs really changes things because they're legally obligated to buy and sell based off of the amount of people who buy and sell that ETF. So this could literally change the entire past historic cycle of Bitcoin doing this 4-year market cycles. Yep, okay. No, you're all good, Joe. You're all good. Could extend to Q1. Yeah, Q1 2026, I think so. Yep. What is your invalidation level to the downside to invalidate 95 to 96K? Value area low. This value area low at 80.5. If we start losing the value area low again, it is not going to be a good side. We've already had a couple deviations of the value area low. So if we start to lose value area low around 80.5 again, we could see a drop to 72K, to 70K. That is probably the most key level of support on the chart right now. What's up, Static Attack? Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in. Okay. Oh, is my charts... shit, guys. I'm sorry. Let me try to... let me know if I'm ever... Because I know sometimes I, like, zoom out and I'm doing, like, stuff like this. I know I need to start zooming in more on the charts. So I will work on doing that. Getting up closer so you guys can actually see what's happening. Okay, let's see here. For the fixed range trading profile, do you prefer plotting it manually or previous day, week, or month? I prefer, Roy, plotting it manually from key levels in the market, because what you're trying to do with that fixed range volume profile is find out the important volume levels of ranges. But at the same time, I do use, like, you know, when I'm trying to find a naked daily point of control, you turn on your indicator and it's looking at the volume profiles for each day, and it's going to be marking out those important point of controls for each day. See, each day a volume profile is marked here on the chart. So yeah, I do use both of them, but as far as the fixed range goes, I pull them manually myself. Okay, Fartcoin, we can look at Fartcoin, so we'll do Super and Fartcoin. Let's see here. I just want to finish Bitcoin first, guys. And I'll work on my charts. Okay, always zoom in on his charts. Quality's good. Okay, no music needed. Okay, cool. Alpha. Okay, the content is most important. Okay, cool, guys. Awesome. Dislike button. Well, I don't want you guys to hit the dislike button, but if, you know, you're always going to have people that will. So, everything is fine, man. We don't need that music. Okay, cool. With that being said, can the music people go to Jazzy concert? Yeah. Okay. 2 to 3 ounces of gold converts into 1 Bitcoin every 30 to 90 days. When properly traded, this open source knowledge, everyone in the world can do this. Okay, so 2 to 3 ounces of gold converts into 1 Bitcoin every 30 to 90 days. Okay. Really gone. No, dude, your charts are great. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, cool. Yeah, dislike should go pound sand. Yes, Roy. Go pound sand, guys. No, okay. All right, so here's the thing, guys. We're at local resistance. We are seeing some bear divs on the chart, but on the higher time frame, money flow does look strong. 6-hour money flow crossing up, about to cross into the green here, and that curve to the upside of money flow looks very strong. So I am expecting a small rejection from this area where we're at now, based off the local bear divs and based off of it being our more important resistance on the charts, seeing a pullback. Now, I want that pullback to at least backtest this point of control. I mean, at least. And if that doesn't, if we keep pumping, then we'll just have to, you know, we're creating a very very steep liquidity curve here. If we look at just this ascending channel here, rejecting from the midline of the channel, but this very steep ascending channel here, if this, you know, I guess breaking it, we would be breaking this trend if we come down to the point of control, but something needs to break here. We could even actually do this. We could take the channel a little bit differently and go from the low to the next higher low here and then bring it up to our high. Yeah, that's a better channel, much better channel. Okay, this is the channel we need to be watching here. So you can see midline was acting as resistance for a bit, flipped it to support. We've been trading in the top half of the channel. And if we do come down to that point of control, it's going to take some time. So look at this, come down, point of control in confluence with the channel midline. We could see that break out of the bigger pink channel, busting to the upside. So I would say that is the area. Locally, I'm watching for at least a pullback to 84.2. Now, if this breaks, we can see like a couple weekends ago, we did see that point of control kind of get hovered around all weekend long. We saw a little bit of breaks to the upside and downside, and then we made our move. The weekend before that, we actually saw the same exact thing. This was the weekend before that. See, chopping just through that point of control. So you will see, I guess, consolidation around it. It doesn't have to be respected to the dollar. It's a point of control where the most volume is traded. So of course you're going to have chop around the point of control. So we don't have to bounce perfectly from it. We could come a little bit lower. And actually, let's go ahead right now locally and look at some of our local support and resistance levels. So we do have that daily. Let me zoom out to the daily and make sure that is a fresh daily. Oh, that's a daily that we had that we broke today. So, okay, this daily, you can see here, we had a fresh daily on the charts at about, what was that, 85,170, and that's where we're at right now. So we're kind of finding resistance. We did see a wick past it, but this daily's acting as resistance, and this daily's old. I need to get rid of this guy. Why is that even on there? Okay, sorry for confusing everyone on that one. And then I guess we have this daily down here. So let me go ahead and check to see. I'll just turn on my dailies for a second again to see. Yep, we got those marked out. Okay, so now that we have those marked out, let's go ahead and look, zoom in. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. What I would like to do, because the very, very bullish case for Bitcoin is that we're seeing from the bottom a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Like that could literally be our double 1 2 impulse to the upside. Now the only problem with that, in a 2-wave retracement, the 886 is an extreme target. It doesn't invalidate a 1 2 impulse, but it's a very rare extreme target. And guess what, guys? We even broke the 886. So if we go from high to low here, we turn on our 886. We even broke the 886 a little bit. So I mean, it just doesn't, to me, it actually makes more sense to see a double zigzag here, a corrective double zigzag. So we have our A, B, C, or WXY, whatever you want to call it. And then we see an A, B, and then a C, one more, and then see a, you know, after that, see what happens here, something like that. But I do want to say, based off of what we are seeing on the higher time frames with bull divs, we could expect a bigger relief rally. Yo, what's up, oopsie doopsie, oopsie moopsie? Thank you for coming in. Lucky Jim Bob, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I appreciate that. Smash up the likes, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Awesome. It's so glad to see all my bros here. Okay, so at resistance locally, we are hitting our 786. This 786 is from this high, when the last time we rejected from the value area high to our lows. We're hitting our 786 now. We know our 786 is a common lower high retrace, but it's also hitting the top of our pink descending channel that is rejected us 5 times, and it's our anchored VWAP up here. I mean, there's just a lot of resistance up in this area that we were looking at for a small pullback before continuation to the upside. Now, I do think that at the very least, we are probably coming up to take this liquidity up here. Remember, guys, look at this. Do you really think the market makers are going to leave all of that liquidity, push up 3/4 of the way to it, and then just no, we're not going to come up there and grab that? They are going to come grab that. Now, let's zoom in on our Model 2 heat map, and I do want to talk, yeah, seeing even more liquidity just above us. So remember, guys, earlier in the stream, I said we could come just a little bit higher to actually hit the value area low of our smaller range from 76.6. We have that range from 76.6 Not that guy. Wait, I'll delete that one. And I will delete that one. This guy. Okay, so this smaller range here, from 76.6, we do have the value area high that we still quite haven't touched yet. But value area high 786, top of the channel, top of the bigger ascending channel. We have a lot up here. So we could come just a little bit higher. But if we go back to our liquidation heat map, and I'm just going to look at the last week of price action. Okay, we've taken that key liquidity we were looking at a couple days ago in the videos. Let's check out like 2 weeks. Because there is these double bottoms here. Right now, we're not showing a lot of liquidity. Actually, let's check Bybit here. We're not showing a lot of liquidity, but there is actually a lot of liquidity below these two lows here. Because it's a double bottom, there's like twice the liquidity to take. Okay. Our pink sent me here. Oh, cool. Mark Dutch, what's up, dude? I see you on all the streams as a good moderator. Thank you for joining, man. Beer and techno. Okay. I don't even know how to do techno, or I could play it. Yeah. But thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I know you're the YouTube moderator of all moderators, you know? So, okay, let's get back to some of the price action here real quick. You guys, for those of you just joining in, we were talking about some of the confirmations that we were seeing on the chart. As far as on the daily time frame goes, you know, we were coming into our key pitchfork support, which we were waiting for. Now, remember, when we first made these local drive of bull div here, we were seeing the bull div, but we weren't actually hitting into support yet. We were a little bit above support, and our money flow was still coming to the downside here on the charts. So what I wanted to see is another low being made actually into our support level, and then create not only a local drive of bull div, but then a regional drive of bull div, giving us those double bull divs. And by then we wanted to see our money flow starting to curve to the upside, showing that money was starting to come back into the market. And then we could get a confirmation for a bigger relief rally. So we have done that. Now, while we're on this pitchfork, guys, this pitchfork has been so nicely respected. Remember, rejected a few times from the top of it up here. And when we were in this all-time high range, this is what I call it, the all-time high range, the lower band of the pitchfork on the daily chart was acting as support. We saw wicks past it, but no daily closes past it. And then remember, in this area, I was warning every one of my YouTube videos, guys, we're starting to see weakness about at the bottom of the support. We lose it and we backtest it, we're going to drop to the next major pitchfork level, and we did. Now, we've dropped to the lower band. The midline confirmed into resistance. So it was acting as support through all of this here. We lost it, backtested, resistance, new lows come. Now you can see our anchored VWAP from the all-time high is in close confluence with the pitchfork band, and it would be that liquidity grab, that very, very key liquidity grab of our chart, of all that liquidity on our chart. Okay, let me go to Bybit here. Bybit, all that liquidity that's on the chart there. Right there, look at all that. I mean, that is going to be taken. So, what is that? It's between 90K and 91K depending on time. I think that's our first major level we need to be watching. Also, remember guys, that is going to be the value area high of our range, of our more intermediate range. Let me go ahead and hide this little guy, and let's clean this up. I'm just going to hide this channel that we just created. Okay, so yeah, we are at the top of our bigger descending channel, hitting into that. But these highs here, you can see all these highs. I do think we make a pump at least to there. I want to see a small pullback from where we're at right now, just based off of some of the local bear divs that we're seeing on the chart, hitting into our anchored VWAP from the Bybit hack impulse, hitting into the top of our channel, hitting into our value area high of our range from the 76.6 lows, you know, from these lows here. And now I want to see this point of control be tested as support. We've finally broken above it. We re-entered the value area. We've rejected once from the point of control, found a higher low, and broke above it. So now we want to see in a healthy market a bullish backtest of that point of control to continue to the value area high of the range. Okay, now while we're here, let's go to this pitchfork on the bearish pitchfork from the all-time high. Many of you that have been watching my channel have been watching me with this bearish pitchfork for a long time. So Let me just get rid of some of this stuff here. And let's go ahead and come into our pitchforks. Let's turn that guy on. Where'd he go? Did I delete him? Ugh. Okay, we'll just repull it. So, pitchfork, it's a bearish pitchfork. We're going to go from our highs to the lows to the highs here. And let's go. Okay, now remember, guys, this bearish pitchfork from the all-time high pull. It's been our trend, and we've been really trending within it. Look at where we're at right now. The top of the bearish pitchfork. We can expect this bearish pitchfork to give us a reaction. It's pretty much the same trend line as that descending channel that on my Coinbase chart. It's pretty much the same trend line. If you want to think in terms of simple trend line trading. Yes, mod of the year. You know what? I don't even know how to make YouTube mods, but I do want to appoint some mods for the chats. So let me look at that. Yeah, I'll look at that in a bit, guys. But I do want to make some mods here. And yeah, Mark Dutch, I can make you a mod, man, because I know you do a great job on everyone else's channel. Grok 3 is trained on how to improve all the code for all 150K trading view indicators. Wow, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, Jim Bob, hopefully we don't lose the POC, but even if we did, I would expect a back test of the band now, because you can see the band was kind of acting as resistance for a bit, and now we could back test that band. So I got off track. Let's look locally at some support levels. So first of all, we're just going to look at, let's zoom in onto the 2-hour chart. And let's look locally at this last little push up that we've been seeing. And let's just take our golden pocket from the high to the low, or from low to the high, golden pocket area. Okay, I like that. The golden pocket is coming in within our pitchfork band, which now that we're breaking it to the upside, it could flip to resistance or support. Gosh, I need to be more clear with my words. So that 80 and 80K, 81K area, remember that's near our value area low of our big range that we also want to see hold as support. That area is going to be a very key area of support for us. Now, if we break that, let's go ahead and pull it just from the lows here. Okay, this is also important, guys. I mean, look at this. Key SFP. Anytime you see an SFP into a golden pocket, you have to be aware of that. We would SFP the entire push up over the last 2 days into our golden pocket area, and I do believe there is some other confluence down there. Let me go onto my Coinbase chart. I keep my Coinbase chart the most updated. So let's do this again. Here we go. Okay, and then we'll look at naked daily points of control. No, there's none there. Naked weekly. No, nothing there. Dailies. We have a daily a little bit above that. Weekly. Now, this weekly has not confirmed yet, you guys. I marked this out because I don't think our candle's turning red. Our weekly candle's turning red before tomorrow. This is still considered weekly open right now, but I mean, I'm marking it out as a weekly right now because let's be real, it's not going to drop there. So weekly golden pocket support at 78.5. I would say this is the ultimate level that Bitcoin needs to hold in a higher low. Say we for some reason we dump. We need to hold this area, dump harder. We need to hold this area because once again, we'd be losing our value area low. It is bearish to be losing the value area low again now after reestablishing price action with inside the value area again. So if we start to lose this value area low, this has to hold. If this doesn't hold, man, we're in trouble. We're probably going to continue to come down to take out our double lows. But right now, we just play level to level. As traders, we mark out our key levels, both to the upside and to the downside. We find confluence for those levels, and we wait. No one knows what the market's going to do. We don't have a crystal ball, so we just wait for the market to come to our levels. If we have confirmation to enter our trades, we enter our trades at our levels. And that's what I'll do. So we'll mark it out. So I would say this here is now going to be a big support area to look at. I like to make my support boxes green, and I do come in here. So we're just going to put golden pocket weekly here. Okay, and then I can go ahead and get rid of that. Now, let's go ahead and look at that smaller fib pool again, because I do believe the 786 is going to be right on that value area low. Not quite. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, we could pull that volume profile from the bottom again and just look at this. Not much there, though, as well. The point of control of that range is in that box, so nothing really there. And as far as new naked daily points of control go, we're going to have one that closes a new naked daily point of control in about 15 minutes here. But it's not confirmed yet, and it's going to be right below us. Okay, yeah, so this is interesting, though. And why is that off on my charts? Okay, let me let this thing load up here. Okay, that's weird. You see how when I'm on the 4 hour, I have it marked out perfect, but when I zoom into the 2 hour, it was below it. It's just glitchy trading view stuff. All right, so that is what we're looking at. Let me check the chat real quick, see what you guys are up to. Do you guys have any questions on what we expect to see on Bitcoin locally? So I would say right now we're at resistance. We can expect a small pullback to make a higher low based off of our money flow on higher time frames, based off of our bull divs confirmed on higher time frames. But looking locally on the 15-minute and under, we are seeing that bear div coming up into key resistances with money flow coming down. You know, with the bear divs here, money flows now starting to come out here. I do think we can at least see a drop to the POC, if not a little bit lower. So the first level I'm looking at, though, at this point of control, I understand taking a long here is very, very risky because we're at the top of this. And if you start to lose the structure of that trend, you can see that squeeze down very, very quickly. So you have to be very careful trying to trade this point of control here. Honestly, I probably would not trade it. I'm still in that long from lower. Yeah, I think this could bounce us and then we could continue up to 89K. So if you're really wanting to trade that, you're going to have to be watching on like 5-minute and under, really, because as we come down here, you're going to want to be seeing bear divs on the chart with lower lows in price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. Not bear divs, bull divs, excuse me. Like that. And then also, oh yes, let's look at the CVD and open interest. Someone asked me about that and I completely spaced that. Let's go ahead and refresh this. We'll look at that. Okay, so overall, man, look at this move up, guys. So here's what I want to talk about here. Let me zoom out to the 15-minute chart, because what we are seeing is not a short squeeze to the upside. What we are seeing is new money coming into the market, pushing the price up on Bitcoin. Like, at least for the majority of this here. Because look at this. So what is CVD? CVD is active market participants, right? Active market shorters and active market longers. Because the CVD is going up overall in here, we see more people longing the market in this area here. But we know that it's new money entering the market because our open interest is increasing as well. All the open interest is the amount of a short, or the amount of positions opening or closing. So if open interest is rising, that means new positions are opening in the market. We can establish that those new positions are mostly long positions based off of our CVD going up, causing a push to the upside. So literally, this is much healthier than seeing a short squeeze when your open interest is going down. Because after a short squeeze ends, if you do not have new money come in to support the price action, you can often see a reversal of that short squeeze. Now, what I would be saying here, man, we're even like on the verge of building bullish CVD locally. So let's zoom in onto the 5-minute and let's see what is going on here. Geez, if we start to break out of that channel this weekend, guys, I would be a little bit concerned that we're creating a little bit of a trap for next week to come back down, because we're going to have a big CME gap that opens. And also the price action that gets happens on the weekend often gets retraced back down over the week when New York opens. That way everyone can get in, like the big dogs can get in, because they don't trade during the weekend. But dang, yeah, we're wow. Okay, so check this out. Higher highs in price action here locally. Lower lows in CVD. Now our open interest is kind of flat, but overall our open interest is increasing a little bit here. So we are seeing a little bit of bullish absorption on the charts into our key highs here. This is going to be crazy if we start to squeeze out again and break out of this channel here. I mean, but remember, guys, in the Discord yesterday, in Jason's stream yesterday, live on the charts, we were seeing the same exact thing, this local bullish CVD absorption that was happening on the charts. And what did I say yesterday? It also looked kind of bull flaggish. I said we need to watch for we were right up in here. Remember this? Right up in here. And we were looking for that bullish CVD absorption that was happening. But we said we have to be careful because what we could be seeing is a fake out where you just come SFP the highs and then see a drop. And that's what we got. And by the way, any of you that were with me in the Discord yesterday, when we SFP'd these highs and we broke this very small ascending channel that we were looking at, I took the short here, looking at these lows, these just real range lows. And remember, I said I'll take profit if we start to break back above them. Well, we broke it. We didn't see a reaction there, and we kept dropping. But when we started bouncing here, I did set my partial stop loss right above those highs just to lock in some profit. So I didn't get stop loss partially in this area, but then when we came up overnight, I did get stop loss. And then, of course, I got stopped out because on the rest of it because my wick was above there. So it was a very small win. It wasn't a loss. It wasn't what I wanted. We were looking to come down to the VWAP close in confluence with that golden pocket down there. If we just look at that little golden pocket, you know, from here to here. Remember that golden pocket was right down in that area. So we were looking for the golden pocket VWAP, but we didn't get it. And that's why in a trend, we have to be careful and protect position. So we're kind of counter trend trading locally right now because the uptrend is so strong. Now, okay, let's zoom back onto Bitcoin. I just want to check here because we are at resistance, and I am looking at a possible SFP of the highs again into that value area high that was just above and into the actual channel top, and then seeing a bigger push down. So what we can look at is a break in structure. So now even on the 5-minute chart, I would say, yeah, we kind of had some market structure break here, right? So if you said that's our 5-minute market structure break, making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, first sign of uh-oh, break market structure, second sign of uh-oh. So now that we've broken market structure just very, very locally, really not even decent, you know, I want to break this in order to see something else, but to see better confirmations. But since we broke some market structure, we can do our fib pull. We can look at the JC pocket. I call it the JC pocket. It's just the area between the golden pocket and 786. You know, Jason kind of made this famous for me, so that's why I call it the JC pocket. And I actually do like the SFP of these little highs here into the 786, not there, into the 786. And if we see that and we start to see local bearish CVD, which we're seeing the opposite of that right now, then I would look for a short. But right now, I'm not really looking for a short yet because, and I haven't shorted, by the way, guys, I haven't shorted yet because I just want to see, I'm not trying to catch a rocket to the upside. I want to see a range start to form. I want to have enough time to get in on some of this. So, okay, we have to go through, okay, I gotta leave in about an hour. So let me start going into some other things here. We'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. Let's set an alert on this guy here. Short. All right, there we go. And now let's go into super. Oh, wait, what was the first one that someone recommended? Let's see here. Let me check how to use the pitchfork. IKB, I can show you a little bit how to use the pitchfork, but I plan on creating a tutorial on it. Yes. Okay, Flare Network, similar on Solana. Now, guys, Solana, oh gosh. Okay, let me just real quickly, I know we have some to cover, but Solana has been so freaking good, man. So good. I will show you what is happening on Solana, and Solana looks freaking bullish, but we are at resistance, a little bit of a resistance right now. So Solana came down and hit that monthly at $96 in confluence with our pitchfork band. Let me zoom in onto the 4-hour chart. So down here at this pitchfork band, let me hide this for a second. We had our monthly and the bottom of our pitchfork band. And remember, we were trading our big range, right? This range is from the March 2024 highs. So we've been in this range for over a year. We lost that value area low to the downside, bearishly backtested it. Now, remember, I shorted up here because when we started rejecting, I was looking for new lows. Of course, I took profit way too early. When we broke the lows, I started taking profit. But then we bounced a strong bounce from here. Now, when we bounced from here, at first, I shorted at $120, 120.12 based off of our local possible ABC correction, right? I was looking for this to be an ABC into our 1-to-1 target, because if we do our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, highs, oop, that's wrong. Let me get that there. And if we look at our corrective target zone, you can see between the 1-to-1 and the 1-2-3-6, we hit into that. And when we started losing it, I shorted here, but then we came down to our golden pocket. Now that golden pocket was from our B wave lows. I keep doing that, from our B wave lows to, and now they're, and by the way, it's not an ABC now, but you can see I took profit on the short here and I actually longed here too. I just took profit way too early at $116. And now we're breaking above, and we're breaking back within our value area low. This is the most important thing to understand. We're breaking back within our volume profile, our year-long volume profile. Now, what we want to see here, okay, so this wasn't an ABC. What is this? What this looks like to me, and this could be the case with Bitcoin, is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we're in 3. We see 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? So it looks like a double 1-2 impulse. Now, if it's a double 1-2 impulse, then let's go ahead and take our targets for the third wave. So you're going to grab your trend-based Fibonacci extinction, highs, lows of 1, highs of 1, lows of 1, right? And then we turn on, now this is your internal 1-2. So you use your first 1-2, and you're going to grab the 1.618. You can see I already have it marked on the chart right now. That is where we're at, the 1.618, hitting into the 1.618. Bitcoin's at resistance, Solana's at resistance. We're seeing it at the top of the pitchfork band. We bounced from the lower pitchfork band, broke the midline. Now we're at the upper pitchfork band, at the top of it, up with our 1.618. So I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback in a wave 4. Now, the wave 4 pullback would be nice if we back tested that value area low. Here, I am looking for a long. If we have confirmation, I will be taking a long there. I understand it's after a big pump. I don't care. I'm going to look at a scalp there. I will protect position as soon as I can. So let's look at our wave 3 lows to highs, our current highs. Now, these could change if we keep pumping. And let's go to our wave 4 targets. Between the 382 and the 0.5 is our most common targets. Well, what is between the 382 and 0.5? Value area low, the big one. So I am expecting a small correction from this 133.7 area down to 124 to 123, and then a continuation to the upside. That would be a, you know, and then we want this impulsive structure to end. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I expect to find some resistance here, and I'll explain why in just a second. Then back test the pitchfork as another 4, and then we would see one more 5 up to the point of control at 144 of our range. That is kind of what I'm looking at for Solana. Now, Solana has some really good levels here. Let me just turn on everything real quick here. You can see up at this 138 area, we have a naked weekly point of control in confluence with a daily, and I also believe we had something else up there. Let me do a fib poll. I think there was... 786 is close by. But we also have the SFP up there into that box, so I would like that. You know, it's kind of a long wick, but yeah, that box. And then, of course, guys, 144, 143, 144 is a very important area because that is our next major point of control of the range, of our major range. It's also a daily, and we have a naked daily point of control. Okay, that, let's just mark this out so I don't forget. Naked daily POC. Excuse me. Daily and large POC. Okay. So, Flare network similar on Solana. Why is 78% shorts on Binance then? Well, KD King 80s, we're seeing a lot of people short, but this is the thing. This is what our CVD is telling us. Look at this. A lot of people are shorting right now, but we're still making higher lows, meaning there's a bigger whale that's absorbing those shorts, and it's going to use those shorts as fuel for another short squeeze to the upside. So yes, we are seeing more shorts locally today come in on the market right now. overall our CBD has been going down, saying more people are shorting the market now. I was talking about when we had more longs coming in on the push up before that, like the majority of that push up before that. So yes, right now we are seeing more shorts come in, but once again, higher lows on the price action, lower lows on CBD, and higher lows here on the open interest. We are seeing bullish absorption happen on the charts. There is a bull, a big whale down here, absorbing all those market retail shorters. And what is that going to cause? If we start breaking the highs, short squeeze to heaven. Honestly, that's also why I'm not looking for a short right now, guys. I cannot do a short right now when I'm seeing bullish absorption on the charts. Unless we get the confirmed swing failure pattern, just like yesterday in the stream that we looked at yesterday. Okay. I know I have to do super. What was the other coin? Let me just scroll up in the chat here. Oh, Fartcoin. Fartcoin and super. Okay. Let's look at super for a second. Now, Jaffiel, I'm only going to go over this shortly because we did cover this yesterday as well. Wow, we even broke our resistance yesterday. So, now remember yesterday we were up in this area looking for a small pullback. We got a pullback to the VWAP. So that, and then this area, wow, no reaction at all. Busted through it with an imbalanced volume candle. I'm actually surprised about that because we did have a daily there and our golden pocket there. But that's also why we wait for confirmations. I guess we did even have confirmations, but there was no reaction, right? You can see here higher highs coming in, at least locally lower highs here, but money flow looked good still. So that's why we have to be careful. Even though it's a resistance, you don't just set a limit there and hope and pray it's going to work. You have to look at the charts and see if you have confirmations to enter your trades. So I would say this was a non-successful area of resistance, you know, unfortunately happens. And let's now look at, we're coming up to the point of control of our bigger range. Remember, Jaffiel, we are talking about a giant short squeeze on super. Like I'm so waiting for a pullback on super to get in for this. Let me zoom out, 6-hour chart. I mean, look at this liquidity trail here. I cannot believe when we start to squeeze this thing. I mean, what the heck? We are going to get a short squeeze like crazy. But remember, the big thing we need to break in order to get that short squeeze is this point of control. Because what we could do right now, because this has been straight up too. This is almost not healthy. We want to see some pullbacks in there. We only got one itty bitty little pullback. So what we want to see on this is we're probably going to, the way that we've been pumping, we're probably going to continue pumping to grab those local highs here and here. Grab those local highs into the point of control. See the SFP. Maybe come back down to backtest the weekly and the value area high of this smaller range. And then short squeeze, baby. So that's what I'm looking at. So now, if we do see that, I actually might look to enter a short on the SFP here. Let's go ahead and mark this out. But I will play this at first as a scalp only. 63, 65. Let me do this. SFP short. Now, remember, you only short an SFP if it confirms. If you see the wick above and then the candle close back below, you want to short with a calculated risk above time. Your stop goes above the high of the wick. Okay, so, and then what I would be looking for is if we come up here and SFP this and then start to close candles below the point of control, I would be looking for a short scalp. Let's just say you enter here. Stop would go above wherever the wick is, and then I would be looking to take profit there at the weekly and the value area high backtest of our smaller range. And then I would be looking for this. Well, you'd wait for the bounce, put your stop, and I would be looking for at least this. Daily value area high golden pocket. It's the value area high of our bigger range. It's our golden pocket and daily level up there. I'm sure we have some other stuff up there, but that area between 113 and 121, that guy there, I mean, look at this thing. That could be a fantastic trade. But we are starting, like I said, Jaffiel, we are at the value area low of the much bigger range, a year-long range, and we are starting to find some bottom seller's exhaustion, starting to form this range down here like we wanted to see. So exhaustion coming in on the selling, if we start to break this point of control, I would love that. I would actually like to see first, though, the SFP and then a higher low being made. That would be healthier to see than a straight pump. Instead of seeing just this, that would not be as healthy as seeing a SFP, a pullback to make a higher low, new buyers stepping in, and then the big push. But this thing, man, I am going to play this with you, and I appreciate you keep showing me this because, whew, man, when this starts, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay, Fartcoin. Shoot, let's see. Fartcoin I did on, I believe, Binance. Let's see here. Yeah, we were looking at Fartcoin on Binance. So remember, we were in this descending channel, and I did say it looks like we were going to break it. If we break it, we look for the back test of it, and then we can look for continuation up to our high, up to our golden pocket and daily up there. So we do have that. I can get rid of this channel now. It's done. Let's see. Okay, let me see the chat. Everyone is long. Yeah. Okay. Sol looks nice. Sol does look nice, man. I have no idea what XAI89G is, but if you're making, Darwin, if you're making some gains on it, good job. Could you do ETH? Yeah, I can check ETH out after Fartcoin. 86,300 is important due to the daily naked point of control and 4-hour order block. 86.3. Okay, I'll check. I'll come back to Fartcoin, guys. Let's see. 86.3. I mean, my naked daily's at 86.6. Naked daily point of control. Now, I don't know if you're using XO to get yours, because XO probably is a little bit more accurate than this, but like if you look at this, and Coinbase, I'm also using Coinbase, so Coinbase does tend to have a little bit different naked daily points of control. God, I hate how it does this. So now look at, it's showing it as lower than what I have marked out, but I like to mark out my naked dailies on the 4-hour. If I go to the 4-hour, let it load up here. Come on. It's right on it. Like, what the heck, TradingView? Tell me which one it is. Let's try the 2-hour. I should probably go with whatever. Okay, so 2-hour, 1-hour is both down there. So I will actually adjust that down there. 86,359. Okay, so 86,359. Let's go ahead and look at, now we do have, I did say 86K is a level we do need to be watching. Let's take our fib from our big high here down to our lows. Okay, yeah, we're at the 786, but let's look at that 886. Oh, man, I just think the area we're at right now is more important than 86.3. We do probably have a new daily there, do we? Let's see here. You said a new daily's there? Wait, hold on. Where was that? Due to daily in POC. Okay, a daily naked point of control and 4-hour order block. Yeah, that order block is a good order block there. You're right. I mean, that guy is good. And we have a naked daily point of control. But I do like where we're at a little bit more, just based off of, it's the descending channel line that's been holding us down the entire trend down from the all-time highs. Our anchored VWAP is very close to where we're at right now. It's in the same area. We have our 786 in the same area. And we did have the value area high of our smaller range from 76.6 lows. See, value area high there too. So, I mean, I would say either one. But if we break this one, then just look there, right? But right now I'm watching here. I'm not looking to short yet because of the bullish CVD that we're seeing on the charts. Okay, Fartcoin. Okay, and then let me see. Let me check the chat real quick here. If you have a little time. Yeah, I'll look at ETH and then. Right, Mark? That doesn't sound sketchy at all. When someone comes in here and says XI whatever coins, and I mean, they all, yeah. But I was watching Jason's channel. And he's like, I think most of these are like bots, things and stuff like that. And he actually went and checked the coin, and it was a real coin, and it actually had some some pretty good pumpage to it. So I was like, wait, what? We were both surprised by it. But yeah, I mean, I don't like I'm okay letting people say if they're making gains off a project or shill their project, not shill their project, but say, hey, you know, I'm a XRP Army guy or I'm a Link Marine, and you know, I think Link's doing this and I'm great. You know, I don't care about that. Okay. Uh, Rishabis, what your question? I missed it. Oh yeah, the 86,300 one. Yeah, I think I just read that. So yep. Um, let's see. That's about your TA is 100%. Oh, thank you, stupid Bitcoin. I appreciate that, man. You know, yeah, I have a very unique method. I incorporate channels and pitchforks a lot into my analysis, but I also use volume profiles. I love volume profiles. I love naked daily, naked weekly points of control. I've just taken, and I even use Elliot waves. So I take in a little bit of everything and just molded it to my own style. And it's been successful for me. So you know, oh, 87, the rest of that, I appreciate that, man. Jason's been a great friend of mine. Actually, the whole reason this YouTube channel exists is because Jason encouraged me to do it. Because I always used to say, you know, I've been posting in his chat for 5 years in the Discord there, but I never would stream. And he's like, I wanted to create a YouTube channel, and he was telling me, he's like, just do it, man. Nothing's gonna be perfect all the time. Just do it. And I just started, so yeah. And it's up. It's thanks to Jason encouraging me. Okay, one daily close above 50 so far. Yeah. Closing above the 50 EMA is going to be good on the daily. I mean, that is a good sign. Okay, let's go back to Fartcoin. So let me zoom out to the daily here, and I just want to look at, get a bigger look. So you guys, we do have this key level support down here. Now, I don't think we marked this out after the bounce. This is our next big level down there. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Mullen SMCD, dude. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry, guys, with names. I'm not meaning to be disrespectful at all. I just am horrible at reading usernames. Like, you know, you guys are so creative in creating them, and I just don't get it sometimes. You know. Okay, let's see here. Guys, give me just a second. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. I'm just gonna grab my water bottle from the other room. All right, I'm back. Okay, so Fartcoin. Let's look at this. We do have that daily up there in confluence, pretty close confluence with that golden pocket. So I would be looking for a little bit higher. I think that was the ABC correction target too. So let's look at this as an ABC. Yeah, that's it there. So we got to be careful because so far this does look like a three-wave zigzag move. And on the higher time frames, right? After that bottom downtrend, you see a high waves, three-wave correction. Usually your correction ends at the golden pocket, and then you see continuation down. Now, if the rest of the market is bullish, then we might presume this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to, you know, this next major level of resistance up there. So we have to be aware of that. And actually look at our 1.618 is up there. That actually would be then our third wave target. And actually that's why that's up there. Remember we covered this yesterday in the stream. So if it is a 3, if it's a 5 wave impulse to the upside, then we're going to be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Taking the highs at 5 and then seeing, you know, just maybe this is going to keep ranging. I think it was MEXC that had more price action. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go ahead and delete some of this smaller stuff. We were looking at, yeah, same thing. We have the same things on the chart. So That ABC correction, I would be looking for that golden pocket daily up in this area between 115 and $1. But then if we break that, the next level I'd be looking at is 156 area, 152 to 156, which could be the, the 1.236 is still a major target for an ABC to end. And that 786 is up there. But then if it's the 3, we're coming up, to 2 something. So, but we're at the top of the pitchfork. Let's zoom in on the 4-hour. We took those highs. We didn't SFP those highs. Remember, we were looking for the SFP into the daily, but only if we saw the SFP into the daily, because it was also our pitchfork band. We saw that big volume candle to the upside, no SFP. And we haven't quite made it up to our golden pocket. So look at it. What I would expect right now is either some consolidation around the band, which usually happens, and the band holds, and we work our way up to that area. Or if the band starts dropping and losing, we have to now look at this daily is not, it's been broken through. What did I just do? There. And okay, we broke our little range to the upside here. What I would actually do is take this range and pull this range to there. Okay. What do you guys? Okay. I'm just checking the chat, guys. Sorry. I'm still in Hussy. Okay. Nice look, man. Forward to it. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Mullen, SMCD. I appreciate that comment, man. Seems like high probability setup would be a long on pullback. Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Habe guard. I'm looking at a long on a pullback on that point of control or something like that. So just the short I'm playing as a scalp if we get it, but I haven't seen confirmation, so I'm not taking it right now. Okay, cool. MEXC. Okay, yeah. Thank you. KB. Okay, Tino on his website. Send him a text. Okay, cool. Yep, also educational. Yep, we can. I'll start doing some stuff on channels and pitchforks, but channels are awesome to look at trends, right? So when you're in a trend, oftentimes because so many algos trade the market, so many bots trade the market, you often trade in these ascending channels or descending channels. So you can look at low time frame ascending channels, high time frame ascending channels, descending channels. They're really good. I've been using them for over 5 years, and for me, they work. I know it's rudimentary, but they work. And liquidity. Yes, liquidity is the most. Liquidity volume levels, right? The market runs off liquidity. Market makers thrive and live off on hunting retail liquidity. It's just a known fact that liquidity runs the market. Yeah, Mark Dutch, you're a mod for everybody. Jason, I think too, right? Jason, I know you're Andy. All the good traders out there, which is awesome, man. That's really, really awesome. I honestly don't know how. When I click the 3 dots next to your name, I think it's because I'm not signed into the chat, but it won't do anything. So maybe I need to sign in. Let's see. Let me try this here. Okay, wait. Sorry, guys. I know that this is not what I should be doing right now. Just give me 1 second here. 1 minute, because I suck at typing. Wait, what is going on here? Okay. Okay, now it's asking for my phone. Yep, okay. There we go. Now let me check this. There we go. I think I just made you a moderator, Mark Dutch. And Lucky Jimbo, where are you at? Let's see. Oh, our pink. There we go. And guys, I'll add more as time goes on too. Okay, let's get back to the charts here. Sorry about that, guys. I know that's distracting and not what you came here for. Okay, so Farcoin, I do expect us to push up a little bit higher, up to that golden pocket and daily area, top of the pitchfork up here. And if we do get that, I would expect a pullback from there. Oh man, this just doesn't look. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 8, 4, 5. I don't like this. It's really hard to count a 5-wave impulse in this, but you know, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you didn't even get that 5. You know, that's truncated there. Honestly, that's tough for me. Looking at that, that's tough for me. You could look at like an ABC, but then you're looking for a 535 if this is an ABC, a bigger ABC. So let's just focus. When the Elliot wave is unclear, you focus on the levels, right? You just focus on key levels of confluence of support and resistance. You mark those out and you trade the levels with confirmation, of course. So what we're looking at here is we're in this pitchfork band. It's trying to hold this support. You can see right now we are seeing no real bear divs yet on the 4-hour. Money flow looks pretty strong here on the 4-hour. Okay, let's go to the 2-hour chart. 2-hour is showing. No, I wouldn't even say 2-hour bear divs yet. Let's go 1-hour chart. 1-hour is showing some bear divs and a trigger wave. So this is our first sign. Higher highs here, lower highs here. Now we have a trigger wave after with a higher low. Trigger wave there. Money flow is finally starting to come out here. So maybe we do see a pullback, but I would be looking at this midline here. You can see the lows of our little mini range. If we're going to create a range over the weekend, right? Like let's just, we know weekend price action usually likes to form ranges. Obviously not this weekend so far, but we could be looking at a little range in between this area. The highs here. And we can just look at coming down to the bottom of the range, grabbing that liquidity into the pitchfork midline, and then continuing up to the golden pocket. That's what I would say. Because we're not really seeing any bigger bear divs yet, we want a little bit of time to pass so we can create those bear divs on some of the higher time frames and at that golden pocket. And then it would also be at our 1-to-1 area, and then we could see that bigger pullback. But I do expect Farcoin to continue higher on this overall. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, so now I would also be looking at just this price action up here. Let me go on to the other Farcoin chart because that is super messy and I just want to do this. I just want to look at it on this chart for a second. So let's take our channel. Now, the person that asked about channels, you're going to go from a key low to your next higher low, and then you're going to bring it to, generally you want to bring it to your first high, but I would actually bring it to this high up here. And you can see we're trending within this channel, bouncing from the midline. So if we do come down to this midline and see a bounce, we could continue first up to there without coming down to the pitchfork midline. But if we do break this midline, we're probably coming to the bottom of the channel, or even down to that pitchfork midline, which is near this low. I just want to check. So oftentimes when you break an ascending channel to the downside, you will at least come grab the liquidity of the second pivot, if not the entire liquidity of the channel. That is quite a ways down there. Let's look at our golden pocket from the lows. That's not the lows. And let's go ahead and turn on our golden pocket 786. Okay, 786 is near that second pivot there. But I also like this golden pocket a lot at 60 cents pretty much, or 59 to 57 cents. And why do I like it? Look at this. It's also a support resistance flip area. Like this here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I mean, you could even do this a little bit lower. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Break above it, then you can come back down to it to test it as support. But yeah, Farcoin overall, I would say we're looking to get a move up to this daily, this golden pocket, and this 1-to-1. Also, you could see if we bounce from the midline here, then it would give us that continuation of a move up to the top of the channel, where then we could see a bigger pullback. Okay, that is pretty much all I got on Filecoin for now. But overall, I expect it probably to keep continuing its trend. We'll look at ETH now. Let me just check the chat. Okay. Thank you, R-Pink. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mod for Jason. Jason's awesome, man. He's just a good dude, right? So, let's kick me. Well, our Pink, man, you've always been a really good supporter of mine. You're always in my YouTube comments. I think you would be a great moderator for me. So, and Mark Dutch, I appreciate it too, man. Thank you for joining in. And I know you always do a good job modding. So, that's an easy one. That's an easy choice. And guys, I will mod more people, but not today. I'm gonna leave it at 2 for now. But if you keep, I want to mod the people that that first of all I know are good moderators or that have really supported me for a while. So I know I'm just getting into live streaming, but if you're around and everything like that, then absolutely I'm gonna make you guys a moderator because we'll develop that trust over time. So yes. Okay, let's check out ETH. ETH. Okay, now, guys, remember on Ethereum, we were looking for that push down to that $1,500 area. Now, a lot of people were looking at this area as the 786, right? Because if you do that poll on the daily from the lows to the highs of the market cycle, hold on, let me get rid of this little freaking thing. If you go from the lows, let me go to the weekly here to make this easier. Lows to highs, right? And we look at the golden pocket. You can see, and I know there's a lot of levels on my chart right now, so but you can see that golden pocket, 2,000 to 2,100. Wait a second. You said this is the golden pocket, right? Well, first of all, if we're looking at, let me just hide some of this stuff. Sorry, guys. I want you to be able to see what I'm talking about. And I probably should just do it the faster way, but well, okay, so now if you can see what I'm talking about, that is not clearly not a 61% retrace, right? With a golden pocket, you're looking for a 61% retrace of the entire move. Well, if the entire move is, you know what, $3,200, then 61% of $3,200. I'm not going to do the math, but it's not 1,000. You know, from 4,000 to 2,000, that's 50%, right? From 4,000 to 2,000 is 50% move. Because we're on log scale and because it's such a high fluctuation in price action, you need to come into this fib. You need to come in here and you need to click the setting, turn levels based off log scale. Now, when you do that, it's going to bring your Fibonacci down to its proper 61.8% retrace. And look at where my box was. The point of control of our major 5-year range from the 2021 May highs all the way, you know, bear market lows. It's the golden pocket from bear market lows to our cycle highs of this cycle, but it's also our point of control of our 5-year range. That's the area we were looking for major support. Now you can see we did wick a little bit past it to the value area low of our 5-year range. That is exactly, you know, we were looking at this holding here, this value area low. And if it didn't, we were really looking for a move down to this monthly in the 786 area. But it did hold. And we are seeing a strong bounce from this area. I was buying some ETH at 1,500 because of that. Now, let's zoom in here to the daily chart. Let's just go ahead and real quick. I know that I just turned off a lot of my levels, but I just want to mark some of this out. I will clean up this chart for next time too. So daily there. Actually, let's mark out that weekly first. I think I know the week hasn't closed yet, guys. I know this is just weekly open right now, but I'm going to mark it out anyways because I don't think we're dropping. And then remember, we have that weekly up there. I just hit it, but we have our box already up there. So dailies, we got our 2 dailies, and then we rejected from the daily yesterday. That's where we found a top yesterday. And then really our next daily's up here near this smaller range point of control. But okay, so now let's zoom in onto the 4-hour chart. We're starting to find, so now remember guys, we've been dumping extremely hard for quite a while now, right? And so now we're at a major level of support, a 5-year range point of control value area low, and it's our macro golden pocket. I expect a bit of seller exhaustion to form in here, and then a break to the upside if it's going to hold. If it's not going to hold, then we're going to break to the downside, obviously. But with this being now after such an aggressive dump, yes, we might see a one quick relief rally, but then I expect us to range really in between this area, between the point of control value area low, just or I would even say between these prior lows here, all these prior lows. Actually, let me do it a different way. So between all these prior lows, look at this, low, 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 break it to the downside. So we could pump up to back test those lows around 1754. But overall, I would say that we are if this is going to hold as our macro support, we are going to start to range in here for a bit to allow the whales some time for accumulation, to allow the whales some time to start loading up their bags and finding a base of support on the asset on higher time frames before seeing a bigger push to the upside. This is the area I'd be looking. So now what we need to look at, Ethereum, it doesn't look as nice as some of the other coins, to be honest. Like, you know, this 3-wave zigzag move, we're not seeing the strength that we were seeing on Bitcoin or Solana. But what is nice about Ethereum is we had our initial low, but with Ethereum, we actually came down and SFP'd that low. That's exactly what you want to see for a double low. With bullish divs, by the way, money flow coming up. Like that signal right there, if you got in on this SFP at 1411, that is, I mean, you could ride this thing up to $1,750 or $2,000. I mean, if I had that entry, I would be holding on to that puppy. But once again, guys, in accumulation, you expect 2 lows. So you have your low, you have your tap 2, then we could range for a bit, and then you could either see a tap 3 where it's a higher low, creating that like inverse head and shoulders pattern, bottoming reversal pattern, or you're going to have a model 1 Wyckoff accumulation where you have your tap 1, tap 2, come down one more time for a tap 3, and then thus creating a 3 drives pattern, right? You have your 1 SFP, then you SFP the SFP, creating your 3 drives pattern, which is also a very nice bottom reversal pattern, would also allow you to have another drive bull div down there, and then you get your big push up. So I'm looking for either one, but right now I am looking for a bit of consolidation here on larger time frames to get a push to the upside. I'm hoping that we get that push to the upside. So I would look at 1754 just based off of it being a key support resistance flip area. And actually, I should mark this out. I have SR flip area. So SR flip, I'm just support resistance flip, right? It was holding as support. Now it's going to act as resistance. We have a naked weekly point of control close by as well. Let's go ahead and pull our golden pocket from our last big high to our low. Okay, yeah, golden pocket's very close by too. So I would say that area in here is going to, I'd be looking at these as 2 separate things though. I'd be looking at the SR flip golden pocket, and then I would be looking at the 786 naked weekly point of control. I'm not going to leave both those on, just letting you guys know that. Okay, and then what I don't like about this, I mean, yes, we've changed market structure, right? We had our lower low, we broke our high, first sign of market structure break, and then we came in for a higher low, and now we could expect a higher high because we're breaking market structure. Let's look at where this lower low came in on the golden pocket, or the higher low, excuse me, came in right on that golden pocket. So that's nice. Now we have a daily down there. Under that daily wasn't there. I just marked that out just now. So just know it didn't bounce from the daily. It bounced from the golden pocket. Okay, and then I would expect us, we're so close to these highs now, I would expect us to SFP the highs into the golden pocket, at least. I mean, if Bitcoin's going to continue higher, we're going to continue at least up to that 1732 area where we could SFP our local highs into a golden pocket. And now, guys, remember, one of my favorite setups in the world is an SFP into a golden pocket. It works so well. You could short the golden pocket, or if you want to be more conservative, you can wait for the rejection from the golden pocket, and as soon as we start losing that high, short there, stop would go above wherever this high was here, and then you take it down. So, yes. Okay, dump starting now. I'll look at that. Yep. But what I would say now for Ethereum, and remember, we were expecting a little bit of a dump, guys. We're at resistance. We're at resistance. What I would be looking at now is, let's go ahead and do our golden pocket pull from high to low. Okay, we already bounced from the golden pocket once, so we can't really use that golden pocket too much anymore. Let me check a golden pocket here. Okay, let's look at the 0.5. Okay, I like this. All right, so as far as local support goes, I'm just going to hide this green box real quick, guys, because it's getting in our way. We have the 0.5 near our point of control of our big 5-year range, right? This is our 5-year range in confluence with our weekly 0.5 point of control. So this could be our local support level for Ethereum now. 0.5 is often a corrective retrace target. And I know that weekly is not confirmed yet, but it's still weekly open. It's still an important level. So that would be the first area of support I'm looking, around 1580, 1579 to 1569. Then if we break that, we could obviously look at our daily. You know, our daily is near that golden pocket. No, that's not the right daily. I'm sorry. That daily is going to be near our 786. Yes. Okay. 786 daily would be the next area I'm looking. Right around that 1521 to 1518. And then, of course, if we break that, we're at least going to come grab this liquidity here into our daily. Let me get rid of these guys. All right. Let's check Bitcoin out real quick. And, guys, I do got to go soon. Yeah. Okay. So, little bit of a rejection here. Not really. I mean, it's not too much yet. We still haven't even really broken, you know, in order to really start saying we're breaking market structure, we got to take out 84.8, 84.820. If we start breaking that, then yeah, I would be a little bit interested in seeing maybe something like this. If we do this, we come down here, we break market structure, I would be looking for that lower high. You know, you're going to take your golden pocket, you're going to go from high to low, wherever that low is going to be, and you're going to look at your 786 area, your golden pocket 786 area, and you're going to look to short that if you're seeing some bearish CVD absorption between these two highs. If and only if. Right now, let me refresh this. Let's see here. No, we're seeing the opposite. We're still building bullish CVD absorption, guys. I really would be careful with this. I really would be careful with this. Bitcoin is looking like it wants to continue to pump. Okay, let's go and delete that. Wow. Gosh, Bitcoin is relentless today. Okay, let me check the chat. Blocky and his wife got to the house themselves this weekend. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know who Blocky is, but to watch crypto stream, that's so funny. Yeah. Okay. Our pink diamond. If he comes again, that's so funny. Oh man. Ascending wedge forming on the 4-hour. Yeah, the ascending wedge on the 4-hour, 86.8. Okay. Looking for an area to short is the pitchfork. So I'm looking at a couple pitchforks. Let me see here. This pitch, I think you're talking about this pitchfork thing. Well, this pitchfork midline is up closer to 90K, 91K. But I would say that we're at kind of a key resistance now. We're at the top of our descending channel, which has been literally the trend for the entire downtrend. So if we start to break this, like, you got to be careful trying to short 86.6, because here's the thing. If we start breaking out of this channel, we could start to push up much higher with an overall bigger trend breaking, right? This bigger downtrend that we've been in. If it starts really breaking, we could see a very strong push up. So either we reject kind of where we're at now at the top of the channel and at our local 786 from this high to the lows, or I'd just be careful shorting into 86.6. I know 86.6, 86.3, there is some resistance there with naked dailies and stuff like that, but you really got to be careful because the bigger trend at that point, honestly, if we start breaking kind of where we're at now, the general area of where we're at now, I honestly expect us to push up pretty quick to take out our highs at 90K, 89, 90K. That's just my opinion. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We're building bullish absorption, which is going to give us a short squeeze, right? If the bullish absorption starts to play out. So are you really going to be looking for a short squeeze to end right above us, right above the breakout? I probably wouldn't. I would probably expect the bullish absorption to squeeze us all the way to take the liquidity. Okay, I'm doing timeout, watching me. Okay, Flare Network, Plux. You guys, I gotta get going now in like 5 minutes, so I'm not gonna look at any more coins today, but I will do another stream. You know, I'll try to do a stream tomorrow. I have some things I have to take care of tomorrow, but I do want to start streaming more, so you'll see me around more. I can look at Total 3 real quick, because that's quick. That's easy. We bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork. I told you guys... Okay, let me zoom out. You can go look at my channel in November. We were hitting the top of the pitchfork. I told everyone up there I'm taking profits on some of my alts up here. People were calling me an idiot, saying alt season was about to start. You're an idiot. Why are you doing that? Alt season is a month away, a month away. And I just said, listen, I'm just looking at the technicals. We had confirmed bear divs on the chart. Look at this. Confirmed bear divs, money flow leaving. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be taking some profit here. And we have since then worked our way slowly down through the entire pitchfork, and we finally hit the bottom. Now, about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, we didn't hit the bottom yet. And I was saying, guys, at this point, we have a very high likelihood of coming to the bottom of the pitchfork. Rejected from the top, we're going to grind all the way to the bottom, and then we could see a bigger relief rally. So yeah, we're at a key support for Total 3, all the altcoins. Now, we are coming up into our first resistance zone, being the pitchfork band. You know, it was holding as support. We lost it to the downside, back tested it, lost it. You know, so now in this area, but now that we've actually broken into the band instead of rejecting from the beginning of the band, I do expect we can continue to work our way up to the top of the band. You can actually see even locally on the 2-hour chart, broke above it, back tested the band, and now we're continuing higher. So I do expect a move up. And look at it, this is kind of equal to Bitcoin's 89K area, right? That wick there is equal to Bitcoin's 89K area. So if we do come to the top of the band, we could SFP this into the top of the band and then see a bigger pushback. But I understand what you guys are saying about this wedgie type structure. I don't like how we are forming this, you know. To me, this is unsustainable, and eventually, like, I don't even know how you would do, like, to me, this is unsustainable, and a pullback is due. But doesn't mean we can't pump a little higher first. Okay, no rush, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. And what is that? Blocky Crypto. Yeah, Blocky. Okay, cool, man. It's good to see you in here. Do you have a YouTube channel? Or is that that's just your username? It's hard to read that language, but once, or that font, but once I saw it, I was good, you know. Okay. Yep, okay. Katie Kings 80s, thanks, man. Watched most of your vids, thumbs up all of them. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. Wait for flares since the start and got blanked. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, yeah, and guys, next time we'll look at Ava and Comp. I don't know if I've done, honestly, I don't know if I've done Wait, how do you do AAVE? Yeah. I haven't done TA on them in a long, long time. Yeah, since way back up here. But we did reject from that box. We're hitting into some key weekly support levels. Bouncing from weekly support levels. This looks nice too. That's a very strong downtrend. So look at, we were in this channel, lost it, back tested it, dropped more. But I do see this right now. Very nice descending channel to the downside. Actually would pull it here and here. That's a nice descending channel that we're trading in. So if we start to break that trend line, we could start to squeeze higher. But oh yeah. I mean, like, this is kind of nice, guys. So you can see here, clear accumulation by bulls, expansion. Now we're seeing a little bit of a distribution of backtest. Backtesting what used to be the prior highs now is support to continue higher. So I do like, overall, I do think Aave is in a good spot on the daily. Are we seeing, I don't like how there's no daily bull divs here. There's none, you know, so I would expect us to continue a little bit lower, or at least to range. You know, oftentimes after you see this aggressive downtrend, what starts to happen is you range for a bit, you know, like something like this where you kind of range for a bit. I'm not saying that long. I'm not saying near that long. Something like this. See how we bottomed and then we ranged for a bit, and then we saw the trend. So now we had a strong trend to the downside. Range for a bit, let some people accumulate, and then boom. But let's look at this, and let's come in here. Yeah, I mean, golden pocket area, weeklies, you know, that's... let me check something. Yeah, that's over 400% move, so we definitely need to use that. Dang, you know what? It just, your hope here is that this is not a lower high before coming back and taking the lows, but let's check something out. Yeah, okay, that's based off log scale. So we hit into our 786, rejected from our 786 from high to low. That is not good. And then now we're pretty strong downtrend here. So what I would expect, well, you could be looking at this as like a contracting diagonal, something like this, you know, where you were seeing that flat area form, breakout 1, 2, 3. You're in maybe a 4 right now, making a higher low, then a 5 to come take the highs. I mean, that's your bullish case scenario. Let me check something. No, we didn't quite make it up to our 1618 there. So, except let's see. Actually, let's do this. Still not. Yeah, you'd have to do that one. It's a bit tough. But Aave is pretty beat down, and I do think that we're gonna see a little bit of a bounce from where we're at now, being those 2 key weekly levels. If we lose that, honestly, man, like, there's not much else until like, the 786 is in here, but it's in this big imbalance candle here. I would be looking at this next weekly down here, unless there's a daily or a monthly. Let's look at a monthly. No, nothing really. Just this guy way down there. Okay, we've already taken all that. So this daily down here is... man, you know what? You guys, I would just say you better hope what we're at now holds. Because if not, the 786 is at 103, really, is like the only other thing. And then I would be just watching to get back into this guy. You know, let's do this here. Yeah, 786 is actually the level. 786 is the value area high of our accumulation range. So if Bitcoin goes to 70K, Aave's probably going to 102, 103. Okay, guys, I really got to get going. Let me say goodbye in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys for coming. So if you did like the TA today, if you liked hanging out, please hit the like button and share this with any of your friends. I just appreciate you guys doing that. I do have a sponsor of the channel. It's MEXC. There's a link in the description. And if you deposit with them, you can get up to 10% cash back on your deposit and lower fees for your trading. Also, you can get up to $20,000 cash back depending on how much futures volume you move. Of course, you do have to KYC for that. So thank you all. I will try to stream tomorrow. I'll post it. I'll post the stream schedule ahead of time in the YouTube. So, you know, like for instance, today I streamed 3:40 my time and I posted like an hour before. So I'll do that again. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you